In today's breaking story, a top Democrat was just rushed to the hospital as his house explodes. Yeah, I'm not kidding. This is just as insane as it sounds. How's it going, everybody? Hunter Avalone here with Occupy Democrats. Welcome back to another video. Now, like I said, this story is absolutely insane. But then again, in Trump's America, we're dealing with insanity all the time. I mean, for one, Americans are not fully understanding just how much our democracy is under attack.
This is just the beginning, and people have to understand our democracy is being taken away from us, and we only have about a year. Just to be clear about this, and people, you're doing a great job, and a lot of other people are doing a good job to tell people what is actually happening in this country. But make no mistake, we have a year before this country becomes a full-on autocracy and democracy completely leaves us. And we're looking at the election in 2026, and Donald Trump knows. He knows that in a free and fair election, he will lose. He will lose the House. The House will flip and will become into Democratic hands. There'll be committee chairs that'll be able to hold hearings. And this is the last thing he wants. So this little, these ICE agents and the National Guard, and now he's called the military in from all over the world to talk to them about, don't be surprised when polling booths are surrounded by American military in the guise of making sure that the elections are fair.
But it's not just democracy. Even healthcare is under attack by the Republicans.
All Democrats understand that millions and millions of their constituents are about to be priced out of their health care. I was in California last week in Oceanside and in Anaheim. Average families of four are going to see the premiums go up by $900 to $1,000 a month. No one can afford that, and that's going to happen all across the country. So I think all my colleagues understand the crisis. We need a president who can act like an adult, who can come to the table and negotiate an end to their self-imposed healthcare crisis. Right now, we don't see that. We see Trump out on the golf course. We see the speaker telling his House colleagues not to even come to session, that there's no work for the federal government to do, apparently. That's completely unacceptable. And in addition to the need to restore healthcare affordability for people, we need to make sure that any agreement that we reach with Republicans, they will honor, because right now they're telling us, you can reach an agreement with us, but we're simply going to withhold any money that's important to you, any programs that are important to you. And as for the speaker telling you or not telling you his position on the president threatening mass layoffs of federal employees, there's no one forcing him to do that.
But now things just got even more insane. That's right, a top Democrat was just rushed to the hospital as his house explodes. Take a look at today's top story.
You can hear this thing burning.
Tonight, shocking news out of South Carolina, where the beachfront home of Circuit Court Judge Diana Goodstein was completely destroyed in a violent inferno. Officials say the blaze erupted around midday Saturday at Goodstein's residence in the gated Jeremy K community on Edisto Beach. Within moments, flames engulfed the three-story home, sending thick black smoke into the sky and forcing multiple occupants to flee for their lives. Judge Goodstein's husband, former Democratic State Senator Arnold Goodstein, was among those trapped inside. He was forced to leap from the first floor to escape, breaking multiple bones in his legs, hips, and feet. Neighbors and emergency workers used kayaks to rescue him and two other occupants from the marshy area behind the home. One victim was airlifted to the Medical University of South Carolina, while the other two were transported by ground. Their conditions remain uncertain tonight. Judge Goodstein herself, 69, was walking her dogs on the beach at the time of the explosion and returned to find her family home in ruins. She has served as a South Carolina judge since 1998, while her husband represented Charleston County as a Democrat in both the House and Senate during the 1970s. Authorities with the state law enforcement division are now investigating this as a potential act of arson. The motive is not yet clear, but the destruction of a liberal judge's home follows a disturbing pattern of politically charged attacks. Earlier this year, Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro was also the target of arson. What happened at the Goodstein residence is more than just a house fire. It is another example of escalating violence directed at liberals in America's political climate. A sitting judge and her family barely survived this weekend's inferno, and the question tonight is, who is behind it, and how far will this wave of political intimidation go? Thanks so much for watching. Please click that like button and subscribe to Occupy Democrats so that you can stay informed and help us stop Donald Trump.